Man, being from the Midwest, being raised by my mother, highly, uh, I understand everything this nigga Kanye doing. Be it that I understand it, don't mean I agree with that shit. I don't necessarily agree with the shit, but I feel it. You know what I'm saying? But I had to put myself in the mind state of I remember when I was making $500 a week, and what that allowed me to know, and what that allowed me to be around. And then I remember when I was making $1,500 a week, and what that allowed me to know, and what that allowed me to be around. And then I remember when I was making $1,500 a day, and what that allowed me to know, and what that allowed me to do, and what that allowed me to be around. And then I remember when I was making about 70, 80,000 a month, and what that allowed me to do, and what that allowed me to be around. I can only imagine what making millions of dollars a month would allow you to do, see, build, be around, acknowledge, understand, and experience. I don't know what this nigga experienced by being the only black man in the room at the levels he at. I don't. I can only imagine what he learned. I can only imagine how he feel. I kind of appreciate this guy because he's damn sure risking some shit I ain't got and wish I did have to get. He's damn sure risking it to get more. But nothing, one thing nobody can say about this nigga is he's beholden to anybody or anything. So I fucks with him. But him doing what he did, saying what he said where he said it, and I can't just blame it on him. But really, I can't blame him. I gotta blame Nori and Diddy and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're supposed to stand on that because Diddy fucked his money up fucking with them white folk. Nori won't let that shit go that happened with Tragedy Gaddafi. But what they leave out of the situation is what person gave them that deal and who was that lawyer that allowed them to sign that deal. You feel me? Motherfuckers, after all of this shit happened, I watched that. Then Kyrie get in trouble. And I'm sitting there, I'm discussing with people in my personal life, like, yo, you seen the movie? You seen the movie? Ain't nobody seen the movie. We talking about the movie. Check ordered. I sit there, watch the movie on my YouTube channel. I made it to about 2 hours of the most boring movie in my life. And they shut my channel down because I watched it on there. Now, Adolf Hitler's books is on YouTube. All kind of true anti-Semitic rhetoric is on YouTube. All of that shit is on here. But the pieces of that movie that I watched, there wasn't even a cuss word in that bitch, let alone something derogatory about anybody. So why was that worth taking my channel down or giving me a strike? It wasn't. But you know what somebody brought to my attention? The whole thing about black people in America is we don't have a flag. Mexicans got a flag, Polish, everybody in America has a flag but us. Everybody in America has a country that's gonna back them but us. Everybody in America got somebody at the World Court representing them and their interests but us. And that's why they try to keep us. That's why they try to keep us in this funk that we in. You know what I'm saying? Us being on the same hamster wheel as the white man, it ain't the same thing because he got a flag. You know what flag he got? The same one our DNA is all over sewn together. But we don't have a flag. That's why we're citizens who don't have rights. Does that make sense to you? When you look at the Constitution, what you'll kind of understand is we are not citizens. We are legal aliens. The same way they call Mexicans illegal aliens. And black people, we don't never ask the right questions. For them to call Mexicans illegal aliens, we don't never say, well, who are the legal aliens? Bitch, us. We, us. And we spending $1 billion to go see Wakanda. And we ain't got no motherfucking flag. And that's why they killed Malcolm X. Because he wanted to take this case to the world court. That's also why they call it that movie Anti. Because it's one thing for us to get on genealogy and say, well, yeah, I'm Guyanese, I'm South African, I'm this, I'm that. But it's a whole nother other thing for you to truly be that with this and that genetic marker and you to go back filing lawsuits or obtaining some of the free money. Well, we ain't gonna say free money because our blood is on that shit, in it, of it, that these motherfuckers been getting. Same thing like the 10-cent Native Americans. I gotta make sure I speak eloquently so I don't get my channel flagged again. But if you go back and you look, when they first started paying reparations to the original Americans, you know what they call them. Used to be a couple teams named after them. You could Google that. Go put 10 cent in front of the team's name. You know what it is. You know who they are. Put 10 cent in front of that. No disrespect. I just want to communicate. And Google that. And you know what you're going to get? You're going to get a bunch of Caucasian people claiming the reparations that was meant for them. Bam. Robbing the shit out of them. The same thing that's been happening to us. So, well, quite naturally, I'm not even going to get into that. But when you look at the history, we've been robbed more than once. And all we talking about is slavery. And that's what makes the movie anti-whatever. But a black person can't be anti that because a black person is that. And that movie tells you how it is that, on top of all the other shit in there that I don't necessarily agree with. You know what I'm saying? But let's say you hate that movie. Let's say you feel it's anti this, anti that, right? So, you saying the Bible wrong? You saying the Torah is wrong? You saying these languages didn't exist? Are you saying your genealogist wrong? Because you can't keep telling me everybody right and what they information add up to is wrong once I believe it. You can't keep doing that. You can't keep doing that. You can't keep telling me I'm wrong for whipping out my own calculator. You can't keep doing that either. And that's what the fuck is going on. And I'm kind of tired of it. You motherfuckers math ain't adding up, baby. It ain't adding up at all. And then, let me give you a short story about a long problem. It's a freeway in my city, 96. It is virtually useless, even though we all use it. You know why? Because it's two streets that flow good, that do the exact same job. But you know why they built that freeway? You know why they built that freeway? Because all the white people sold us black folks moving from the swamps. They housed at exorbitant rates and then moved out to the swamp lands here and built houses on them, and they needed a freeway to go right into them where they ain't have to pass through the hood. Now, even though they could use these streets and it still would have been good, they'd have made it to work in the same time, they needed their houses to be worth something. And the only way to do that was to make our houses worth nothing. So they built freeways through the most prominent black neighborhoods. Now, who funded that? What bankers You know what I'm saying? So when you get to checking these balances, what you gonna come out with is everybody that at the top that made that call, they wasn't just white. A lot of them was a part of a certain type of group. And this group get religious protection, political protection, every kind of protection. You know why? Because they apply as everything. No matter what you're talking about, they apply as that. Now that's a cold motherfucking game. I don't hate them for it. I don't hate them for it at all. I want to move like it. I wish we moved like it. But we need to understand that we need to call it what it is. Now, back to the story about Detroit. Our downtown, I know in other states, cities, you can't really say this, but our famous buildings downtown, some of them were actually owned by black people. Outright. Magically. None of them are now. Is that a conspiracy? They bled all them niggas out. And then they gifted and tax broke and loaned money to all these people to come in for the same building the black owner couldn't get a loan from. Some of these black owners ended up dead in the building of their own establishment. We're gonna leave that alone though. So, yeah, he got us in trouble. I don't know if he's serious about how he got us in trouble or why he got us in trouble, but the rest of us is serious. They bleed me out the hood. They devaluing my property south of this same freeway we talking about. They devalue my property south of this same freeway and up in the value, you know what I'm saying? But see, I know what that's about. That's so the value can spread through to the middle. But see, south of where I own that property value has already been built up. But they want to squeeze all of us out in the middle. And if you in Detroit, I'm talking about if you between 96 and Warren, they're about to try and squeeze us all out. They're gonna let every bad thing happen that can happen. They're gonna keep raising shit gonna keep not working, and they trying to squeeze all of us out. And that's from Livernois to Burt Road. Now they're trying to use Plymouth Rock to actually kill us. But we off of that. Yeah, you got us all in trouble. I got my channel back. I'm gonna be approaching this shit differently. I'm just fucking around tonight, but I got some ideas. We're gonna be doing some things differently. But I'm fucking with you. Holler at me in the comments.